Ram. I want to thank our beloved Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who resides in our hearts, who fills us up with his light and love so that we may be his beacons of light throughout the world. Heavenly Lord, may you speak through me, see through me, and enlighten all of us here with this incredible evening that so many people actually put a lot of work into. The sound checks, everything. It's always amazing to see what his organization can do. We thank you, dear Lord, and we ask that you give us your opportunities to serve. Amen. Okay, the quotes are just beautiful. I'll do my best here. Remembering what Swami used to sound. We can listen to God. We just turn on the computer. 2,000 years ago, only Jesus was available to such a small amount of people, and Krishna before that. How blessed we are. So Swami says the universe is full of many powers, and omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient power pervades all of creation. This divine force is immanent in every atom, like sugar and syrup. The Upanishads call this rasa vesa, or all-pervading sweetness. God is an embodiment of sweetness. Although this sweetness is everywhere, it is not possible to recognize its omnipresence. However, it is possible for all to observe the existence of divinity. Sweetness in sugarcane, bitterness in neem seed leaves, burning in chili, acerbity in lemon, and fire in wood, all these are direct proofs of God's existence. A plant germinates from a seed, a bird emerges from an egg, the newborn infant becomes a mother one day. These are all living proofs of the existence of divinity. Man experiences exhilaration upon seeing majestic peaks, gurgling rivers, the deep ocean, lush forests, and colorful gardens. What is the basis of this phenomena? It is God's existence alone. It is not given to everyone to grasp the omnipresence of God, but all have the ability and the capacity to identify his presence. Of all kinds of knowledge, Atmayana is the foremost and the best. We find various forms of knowledge in the world: music, literature, painting, sculpture, dance, materials, and so on. Atmayana is paramount. Worldly knowledge might endow you with scholarship, fame, honor, and titles. The title higher than all worldly titles is that you are the Atma. The Vedas say that man is Amrita Putra, a child of immortality. This is the highest title. The second, only Swami can do this. The second is so beautiful, a man that only had wisdom and teaching from up to 14 years old in his earthly body. Qualities for earning wisdom, summer showers. All worldly knowledge changes with time and deludes your intellect. For this reason, our ancient sages dedicated their lives to the acquisition of Atmayana, which is changeless and illumines the intellect. Some qualities are necessary for earning such wisdom. Sarvaloka hitarata, desire the welfare of all beings by engaging in actions that benefit others. We should cultivate readiness to serve. Your education should equip you better to render service. Then you will evoke true respect from others. The second, Sarvayana Sampanna, students should excel in all forms of knowledge. This is also called awareness. You should understand and experience all the angles of a situation. And when Swami says students, that's all of us. We are never done learning. Worldly subjects grant you competence within a narrow scope. You perceive situations with a limited outlook. If I ask you what this handkerchief is, you say a piece of cloth. The answer shows your restricted worldly knowledge. With broader vision, you identify it as a handkerchief. Spiritual knowledge is complete and enables one to grasp all fields of knowledge. This is the total awareness that he has talked about for years and years. In this incarnation and prior, he's preparing us for premisai. This is an incredible opportunity for the planet. And there's no accident. Each one of us has been chosen to help him with his mission. Sarva Samudita Yonahi. The student must embody every virtue or guna. What is meant by guna? Traditionally, the three qualities of creation, sattva, rajas, and tamas, are called gunas. Indeed, virtue, which Swami always talks about, is the union and balance of these three gunas. In practice, it is very important to disregard the faults of others and to express your own divinity. This is true guna. This trait is crucial for all students and is the source of all virtues. That which inculcates such virtues alone can be called education. Modern educational systems impart information but not virtue. So they gave me a question. Present-day education teaches only information, and this question is for each one of you, but not even an iota of virtue. What beneficial fruit can emerge from a million forms of education devoid of values? And Sister Sri Devi spoke so beautifully and perfectly about the virus that is going on now on the earth. What a gift it is. Everything that may look like pain and suffering is a gift to all of us. We just need to find it. Everything. Like a seed can grow into such a beautiful tree. That tiny little seed is lost without being in darkness, without being in wet, cold ground. And that's what we are going through, be it this virus or our own personal challenges. It's his perfect test opportunity to open our wings, as dear Greg mentioned, have an opportunity to get stronger, to have wisdom to share with others, to have time to study Swami's teachings, to watch his incredible videos. We have darshan every time we turn on our phone or computer or open a book, and then we get to be that message. He lives on in our hearts. You know, when I read that, I thought, just like Swami says, I am God, I am not different from God. God is not distinct or distant. I am the individual, the supreme absolute. I'm being awareness, bliss, and anxiety and fear can never affect me. I am ever confident. I felt compelled to show you this picture of Elsie and Walter Cowan. As you can see, Walter, I put a little picture of Abraham Lincoln in there because it's the only time that I remember Harold, my late husband, had talked about how Swami had told Walter Cowan and him in an interview that he had been Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln went through so many sufferings, so many travails, raised very poor, loved to learn an education, and not only freed the slaves as we know him for, but he also he created laws whereby poor can own land. He kept the union together, which is our duty, to keep our families together while we're home, to keep our work associates together, to keep the spirit alive of love and harmony and peace, because that's why we took birth, to be Sai devotees, whether we realize it or not. No matter who's going through a dark place, Swami will bring them. As we do as devotees, we do our light meditation every morning, and then we ask him, bring us people to help, bring us people to inspire and enlighten, even though we have to remain 6 feet apart these days. We get to remind them that it's the dark places that toughen us up, that make us what we are today, to develop an unshakable faith in God. God is love. Love is the opportunity to change what we have right now. Imagine living without fear of loving or being loved. Just close your eyes for a second and imagine that. Imagine you're no longer afraid to be rejected, You don't have to be accepted. You can say, I love you to anyone without shame or justification. You can walk in the world with your heart completely open. Never afraid to be hurt. Just imagine that for a second. Never afraid to risk or explore life like children, not afraid of anything, because we are God. We are no different than God. Every morning, realize that. It's very profound. It's so profound for me to keep remembering that. It humbles me, it shakes me. But imagine loving ourselves, each one of you, the way Swami loves us, because he does. We're his babies. Love our body the way it is, our emotions the way they are. Just know that we are perfect, like he continually told us. It's possible. We can live in a state of grace, of bliss. Just like Greg was saying, we don't have to live in a state of sadness, of lack, of needing anything. All we are is love. In fact, Martin Wagner, who we're blessed to hear next, who I can't wait to hear, Martin used to speak about, when he spoke here in this room at the center, he said, Swami, what is the difference between love and hate and pain and suffering? And Swami says, hate is in the head, pain is in the head, love is in the heart. And as Sister Sri Devi reminded us, we all have that radio, that two-way radio. When we close our eyes and we ask him, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as my Christian brothers and sisters trained us. We just have that right now. We have the perfect bliss to enjoy today, this evening, and every moment, because just as Abraham Lincoln eventually found a body, he was without lack of love, of finances, and he got to be at Swami's beautiful feet, helping create the schools that we know and love in Vrindavan. I'll let you go on this. I love you all so much. And I thank you for being in my life and the inspiration that you are. And may you find time every day just to reach out to people that you send Christmas cards to, or that you just write notes on email. If you can find time for 5 people a day just to see how they are, there's people that will never forget it. I trust that. There's people waiting for someone to call them and remind them of how much they love them and why they love them. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.